In this video, we'll look at the basics of mini roundabouts, what they are, how you should deal with them, how to decide on what lane to use, and what to signal. So here we have a pretty normal mini roundabout, which illustrates exactly what is meant by the term. Essentially, a mini roundabout is a small version of a roundabout which has a centre that can be driven across. The centre is usually painted, but can also be a very low rounded island. There will also be a blue mini roundabout sign at each entrance, which is there to help drivers spot the roundabout, as faded paint, poor light and rain can all make it difficult to see the actual markings. The entrances are all marked with giveaway lines and sometimes additional giveaway signs. This is to show you that you need to treat them like any roundabout and give way to traffic circulating from the right. We've said that mini roundabouts have centres which can be driven across, but the highway code says you must go around the central markings unless it is necessary to cross them. The use of must means that it is a legal requirement. So here we are seeing the correct route for the red car to take around the mini roundabout if they are turning right, avoiding the central markings. However, you'll often see drivers taking a quicker route, cutting across the markings or even going the wrong side of them. In fact, the junction shown was actually remodelled about 10 years ago to make it harder to go the wrong side of the markings, although it is still very easy to cut across them. Drivers will take this shorter route because they don't need to slow down or steer as much, but this increases the risk significantly. The reason for this is shown here. The driver of the blue car will anticipate that the red car needs to slow and go around the markings as shown by the dashed red line. They might judge that they have time to enter and reach the pale blue position by the time the red car reaches the pale red position, in which case they wouldn't impact the course and speed of the red car, so it's reasonable for them to proceed onto the roundabout. But if the red car doesn't slow as much and takes the shorter route shown by the solid red line, it can easily put the two cars on a course for a near miss, or worse, a collision. So why is it important for the centre of a mini roundabout to be able to be driven over? Well, mini roundabouts are typically used where there isn't much space to fit in bigger structures, so large vehicles might not be able to steer around the centre, so are entitled to drive over it. Occasionally mini roundabouts are so small that even cars are not able to completely go around the markings, in which case passing partly over the markings is perfectly normal. Choosing your lane at a mini roundabout is exactly the same as for normal roundabouts, as covered by another video linked in the description. Most commonly, mini roundabouts only have one lane, so the situation is actually much simpler. But where they do have more than one lane, you would apply the normal rules. So with the mini roundabout shown, approaching from the north, you would use the left lane to turn left and the right lane to turn right. Coming from the east, we have exits ahead and right, so we'd use the left-hand lane to take the first exit ahead and the right-hand lane to turn right for the second exit. And coming from the west, with exits left and ahead, we have lane markings to give assistance and show us that the right-hand lane should be used to follow the road ahead to the second exit. Even without these markings, with two lanes and two exits, it would be logical to use the right-hand lane for the second exit, but the markings help to confirm this. In terms of signals, approaching a mini roundabout you would signal in the same way as a conventional roundabout. There is usually no more than one exit in any given direction, left, ahead or right, due to the small size of mini roundabouts. So signal left on approach if turning left, signal right if turning right, and give no signal if you're going ahead. The main signalling difference is that because of their small size, at a mini roundabout you don't need to signal to say that you're exiting. Essentially, at most mini roundabouts, by the time you get your exit signal on, you're already leaving the roundabout, so the signal doesn't actually assist anyone. So to recap mini roundabouts. Treat them the same as normal roundabouts, giving way to traffic circulating from the right. If it is possible, make sure you go around the central markings rather than across them, as this increases safety and improves traffic circulation. If there are multiple lanes, you should decide on the appropriate lane in the same way as a conventional roundabout. Give a signal on approach as you normally would, but because of their small size, a signal exiting a mini roundabout isn't required.